So I was at the airport last week, and you know what I do? I pull out my iPhone and I dial up my app and I order my ride. So I tapped into the Uber app, and on my phone, within 5 minutes, my ride was waiting for me outside of the terminal. Pretty cool, right? So you've probably heard of these type of companies like Uber, Lyft, TaskRabbit, and AirBnb. And they're part of what is known as the shared economy. Thanks to technology, people can now share their assets, time, skills, or even money with others on a relatively small scale. In the past, if you wanted to go into a business like this for yourself, it took a whole lot of work beforehand. These days, you can basically decide, say on Thursday, that you may want to make a little extra money over the weekend, and then bam, here you are, you're in business on Friday. Of course, new ways of doing business can challenge various existing tax rules that were written with a different model in mind. Most people who start a business like this probably aren't thinking about, guess what? Taxes. So first, you need to separate your personal expenses from your business expenses. That part is very important. You also have to identify tax rules that apply to you. You might be renting just one room, or you could be renting the entire house, kind of like a hotel where Section 162 trade or business tax rules might apply. If not quite at that level and you're operating at a loss, you might be subject to the loss limitations of Section 280 or 469. And if you're rendering personal services to the occupants, you might owe self-employment tax. So we have to look at Code Section 1402. There are also some local tax obligations like personal property taxes that you might want to consider. So if you're driving for Uber or any of these other like ride-sharing companies, here's some other stuff you got to figure out. Is it a business, or maybe you're kind of doing it on the side like a hobby? Most people might tell you they're doing it to just earn extra cash like a hobby, and it's not necessarily to generate, quote, a profit like if you were in a business. But for tax considerations, you might be better off if it's technically a business, because you can then deduct certain expenses. If it's just a hobby, it's probably subject to the 2% AGI limitation, your expenses that is. So you also want to make sure you've got good record keeping when you're getting into the shared economy. So if you get a 1099, you'll need to reconcile that with your actual receipts, right? So there's no question that the shared economy is here to stay. If you're one of a growing number of emerging entrepreneurs, then you need to make sure you're taking advantage of the opportunities that are available to you, and that you're aware of the tax implications of getting involved in all this stuff. And as I said, it's important stuff. If you need any help, that's what we're here for. When you're working with a wealth management firm, whether it's you or a child or a friend, you got to have the right team around you that understands your investments as well as your taxes, amongst other things. That's what we do here at Lucia Capital Group.